Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, I'm going to talk about Ayush homeopathy and how the outreach of Ayush has to be established not just only in India, but far beyond the borders of India. So basically, if you see the contents which I would talk in brief is Ayush in India, concern of the salon and wellness industry, and bridging the gap, and how to increase the outreach of Ayush, which is one of the discussions which we would like to do. Ayush, as you all know, it's Ayurveda, Unani, Yoga, Siddha, and Homeopathy in India. And if you see, the traditional medical practice has long been significant from the ancient wisdom and practices in healthcare. You go to China, we have Chinese traditional medicines. You go to Japan, which once used to rule China, and they also have the Japanese systems of medicine. Not only in Asia, but if you go to South America, we have Brazil and some of the other South American countries, where, Amazon, which is one of the biggest forest zone, has huge number of products which are used, whether it's fruit, plantations, herbs, which are used in the whole wellness industry all across South America. And that has become such a big commercial success in South America, like that now most of the big wellness companies from US, the big brand names, are moving into South America to establish, plants which could make natural products for the wellness industry, because that's one of the biggest thing which is happening in the wellness industry in US. A use of herbs and their ingredients, which we all know that, this has been prevalent in India. We talk about the Mughals, we talk about the Romans, all across, not just for the medicine purposes, for also the body care and the cosmetics uses has been very well proven and seen in the history. Homeopathy is also one of those concepts which is based on herbs and takes care of, any type of treatment, whether it is medical, skin, and in a very holistic way. And the side effects are literally negligible, and that's where Ayush comes in. Ayush has most of the products which have very, very low side effects. Today, concern of the wellness industry, we are in a metrosexual world where people want to use more and more body care products, more and more cosmetic products, but safety is definitely a concern. I was just going through one of the articles, and I found that, there are around about 85,000 synthetic products which are being used currently across the globe for, cosmetics. And surprise, surprise, out of this 82,000, around about 10,500 is bulk chemicals. It's pure bulk chemicals. And these are not very uncommon. They are being used all across the globe without any hesitancy, and the fact that some of them have side effects, some of them do not have side effects, because some of them are very well proven. But ultimately, these do affect the immunity of people, particularly if it is used on teenagers, young and growing adults, because, these do have chemical properties which do come out after some time, maybe not at that point of time. So what exactly is the holistic approach for a complete solution? Homeopathy and other forms of TMP, whether it is Ayurveda, Yoga, Unani, Siddha, and Kairali is one of the biggest examples where we have stuck to, our ancient forms of treatment and have done fairly well, I would say. If you see in the homeopathy also, you have drugs like Calendula, Echinacea, Berberis, which are very, very good on skin. You have Arnica, Jabrandi for hair problems, and which is very well commercially being used today. You have China for pigmentations, Amni Visnaga for white patches. So what basically it means is that there are products which are used for, body, for cosmetics, even in homeopathy and in any other systems of natural medicine. Bridging the gap of the entire ecosystem, we need to use more and more of herbal product. That's what it should be, because that's also a traditional part of Indian. I understand that the commercial success of most of the modern medicines would, push us to use them more and more. But we have our own systems, and there are a lot of business cases in India and across South America and China, which has been very, very successful, hugely successful, using their traditional medical practices. China and Brazil and India, Kairali would be one of the good examples for India too. If you see, one of the concerns which we see in Ayush is, even though it has been now established by the government of India, in the current government, that it's more of a separate ministry now. It was a part of the health ministry before 2014, but when Mr. Modi came in, he made it a separate ministry with actually a separate minister also allocated to it. And we see this impact coming in big time in the global concepts. We have seen that Ayush has, along with some states like Tamil Nadu and Kerala, they have been starting homeopathic colleges, Ayurveda colleges in countries like Malaysia, Sri Lanka. Discussions are on. We are very much aware of those discussions going on. So, this is one way to also, because once this Ayurveda starts to move out, this would help the whole salon and the beauty industry to establish our businesses' commercial success outside India, which we have been looking inside. Also, I have seen, diplomatic assistance given out to countries like Bangladesh, in terms of getting our pharmacopoeia, which is the Bible of these practices, being approved by the government of Bangladesh, which would give us, direct access to that particular population in terms of commercial business ventures. One of the other ways would be to add some more therapies to increase the outreach of Ayush. Also setting up Ayush centers in most of the medical colleges, which now has started in hospitals. I've seen quite a few Ayush centers coming up in medical colleges which are being built by the government, and that's must because the cost of therapy is much less. And extending promotion of medical tourism, like we are famous for modern science medical tourism, we are also famous for yoga nowadays. If you go to travel to a lot of countries in Western Europe, a lot of people do come to India for yoga therapy and, spas, so which is good, but, the government needs to push this a bit more than what it is happening today. So thank you so much, and thanks to the organizer for giving us this opportunity to be here with all of you. Thank you.